Chapter 2 from the Hornbill book, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together by Gordon Cook and Alan East. The chapter is divided into two videos just because of the length of the chapter. So in the first video we have already discussed that captain and their all crewmen were struck in the sea storm. The wave walker, their boat was totally destructed. There was water everywhere on their boat. Captain himself was injured. That was a time when their caliber and their skills were going to be tested more by the sea powers. But fortunately, the crew members showed their unparalleled strength. The crewmen Larry and Herb started pumping out the water. Captain somehow reached the children's cabin to inquire their well-being. With no time to worry about the bumped head of his daughter, he struggled back on the deck, having found a hammer, screws and the canvas. He settled to make the necessary repairs to save the ship from sinking. He managed to stretch the canvas and secure the waterproof hatch covers across gaping holes. Now the water started deflecting over the side. Self-motivatedly, they were combating against the storm. But unfortunately, the new problem arose when the pump started to block with the debris. The electric pump got short-circuited. Water level was rising threateningly. There were two spare hand pumps that were wrenched overboard. Captain found another electric pump which was kept under the chart room floor and connected it to an outpipe. They were getting no replies to their mayday calls. Daughter of the captain was badly injured. Her head was swollen, her eyes were enormously black, and a deep cut was there on her arm. But she showed exemplary courage by not worrying the captain, who was making desperate efforts to save everybody on the boat. On January 3rd, the conditions were under control, but still critical. A huge leakage was somewhere found below the waterline. Boat's main rib frames were nearly broken. The wave walker would not hold longer enough to reach Australia. It was a cause of worry. The only hope the captain was having, either to reach the two small islands, which were few hundred kilometers off east. One of them was Isle Amsterdam, a French scientific base camp. It could be possible enough to reach there if the wind slows down and led them to sail the host. January 4th and January 5th was going to be a crucial days for them, because after 36 hours of continuous pumping, there was only a few centimeters of water left. But the crew had to keep the pace with the water as it was still coming in. Unfortunately, they could not set any sail on the mast. Stayed the storm jib and headed in the direction of the two islands. About 4 p.m., the black clouds built up again. The wind started to increase at 40 knots. The sea was getting higher. Dawn of the January 5th was going to be the more desperate situation for them. But here, Captain's 6 years old son Jonathan exhibited rare courage by saying, "We aren't afraid of dying if we can all be together." It was like a new determination and courage revived in the captain to fight the sea. He decided to protect the weakened starboard side. On January 6th, they had a sigh of relief when wave walker read out of the storm. Then captain tried to get the reading on the sextant. To calculate their position, they worked on wind speeds, changing of course, drift and currents in the chart room. They checked and rechecked their position and calculations. Their main compass was somewhere lost. The spare one they were having, that was not correct for the magnetic variations. So depending on his calculations, he asked Larry to steer a course of 185 degrees at around 2 p.m. They expected to see the island at about 5 p.m. though he himself was not very sure, so he dozed off and woke up at 6 p.m. Disheartened, that they had probably missed the island. But his son Jonathan and daughter Suzanne then appeared and hugged him, calling him the best daddy and the best captain in the world, for they had found the island. The voyagers touched shore at Isle Amsterdam. The courage, the conviction, a keen presence of mind, and all of the above, the strength of the family, brought them successfully out of their dangerous ordeal.